go. The Bitcoin Group, the American original. For over the last 10 seconds, the sharpest Satoshis, the best Bitcoins, the hardest cryptocurrency talk. We'd like to welcome our panelists, Josh Gagala from Vaultoro.
Oh, why, good evening. I didn't see you come in.
Martine from General Bytes.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
And I'm Thomas Hunt from the World Crypto Network. Moving on to issue one. Issue one, new Bitcoin all-time high. The price of Bitcoin just keeps going up, setting a new all-time high on Christmas Day with a brand new $24,600 price point. Josh Gagala, is the price of Bitcoin crazy? Will it just keep going up?
Yeah, it will. It'll just keep going up. I mean, we have, in the beginning, it's all about the retail investors. Now the big money's coming in because they're like, oh, what the heck's going to happen to the banks? We've got all this liquidity sitting in banks like fools, when there could be hard money, either gold or Bitcoin or something, it's assets. And these companies are really scared. I've talked to a few high net worths who are actually scared of keeping any money in the banks. And so if we take that to the next conclusion, obviously governments will start to print and well, they already are printing. They're not starting to. They're printing like crazy, but they will print and buy with that printed money. So the thing is, eventually people will have to switch their mindset from calculating in fiat and calculating it in grams of gold, because eventually it will make no sense calculating this thing in fiat anymore, because all you're doing is calculating the amount of money that they're printing.
Martine from General Bytes.
The price will continue to go up. Bitcoin is also like, the first number go up technology. So therefore, I think, the number will keep going up. It's gradually, we're printing so much money. I believe 20% of all the dollars in existence has been printed this year. A similar thing happening in Europe, where the European Central Bank keeps printing money. With Bitcoin, 21 million, that's it. So I believe we're at 18 million something right now. So I think it's time to get, few sets and start stacking.
I think that's the truth there. You have to think about dollar cost averaging. Their eyes gets all big. I want to own a whole Bitcoin, no matter how much a Bitcoin costs. But really, you'd be better off just putting in $10 today, just putting in $100 today, something that you don't have to worry so much about losing. A lot of people see the big price. They want to put all their money in. It goes the wrong way. They get wrecked. And now they don't know what to do. And they didn't even get that $10 worth. They didn't even get that $100 worth. So as much as I think I don't like capitulating to the new era of stacking sats. I still think we should buy Bitcoin, both alliterative, both great slogans. One of them a little sadder. It would be better if we could have all bought Bitcoin, and especially to have been one of those early guys and get the hundreds and the thousands and I don't care about this Bitcoin. But that would have been fun. But unfortunately, I think we're going to be that for sats. We're going to people with the 10,000 sats and the million sats. So let's work on it that way. Let's try to build up a number. And remember, right now, all the people that bought at the previous all-time high of 19,400 in 2017, all the people who were wrecked, they bought at 19, they went all the way down to 3. Now they're back at 20 again. So once again, everyone that's ever invested in Bitcoin that held long enough made money. That's that last part that's tricky. But good luck with that. Moving on to the exit question. The price of Bitcoin this time next week, I think it'll be almost New Year's. Josh Gagala, higher or lower? You're muted, I think.
It'll probably correct back down a little bit, I feel.
Oh, downward correction. Martin, do you agree?
No, I don't think it will go down. I do think we're trading at a bit of a tight range now. So I think we'll, within a week or so, we have said next week, this price next week, it will be between 23 and $24,000. That's my guess. But it's not investment advice.
There you go. Exact numbers, putting it on the line. I'm going to agree. The price always goes up. Bitcoin just goes up. We do have an update on people liking the video. Last week's video did get more than 150 likes. Thanks to everybody for liking the video. It started to cap out. The previous video was around 143, 144 right now. So maybe 6 more people watched the new video. So if you watch this video and if you can hear us and see us and seems like a good video, give us that thumbs up down below and go ahead and subscribe. About 40% of the people watching this are not subscribed. So still a chance. Christmas Miracle, our goal would be 200 likes. It's very difficult. Like almost everyone that watches this who's not a bot would have to like it. So if you're not a bot, please prove that you're not a bot by liking this. We also had 1 down thumb, which is 50% down from our normal 2 down thumbs. So we're doing good there too.
Hey, it's free as well. Ladies and gentlemen.
Also free. You can do the down thumb, the up thumb. We have many thumb operations available for you down below the video. So thanks to everybody for giving this video a thumbs up. Moving on to issue 2, XRP Cryptocurrency crashes following the announcement of an SEC suit against Ripple. Many people saw this coming, especially when the Ripple company claimed to not create the XRP/Ripple token. It was very confusing for everyone that watched them create it, watched them print billions of it, watched them hold on to billions of it, and then watched them claim not to have made it at all. The price of Ripple was down around 63% from its 30-day high of 76 cents, dragging down the rest of the altcoin market with it. The SEC has a simple point in their lawsuit. They say that Ripple is a security. Martin, is Ripple a security?
I think the SEC has a point. SEC has a point there. Even though they claim to be a cryptocurrency and that it has all these like applications where you can use it for, in reality, you can't really use it for anything except for speculation. They also, it's all pre-mined, so you know it's not for me. Let's put it this way. If I know people that bought some, for me, it's definitely not really a cryptocurrency in the sense like Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency or Ethereum is. So I'm curious to see what the future will hold for Ripple or XRP or whatever they really want to be called, because that's a bit of confusion too there. So no, not for me.
Well, for one, I just want my early test Ripples back. I don't know if you guys remember, but originally Ripple had a hosted wallet. They had all kinds of these things you were going to be able to do with the currency, and they gave me some. I held it there in my hosted wallet. I guess at some point they sent me an email saying they weren't going to do that anymore, and they took all of my whatever Ripples they were. So the one thing that I managed to hold on to early that I could have dumped on somebody, they took from me. So no, since then, I'm not a fan of Ripple. I never understood the whole, we didn't make the currency that we're holding billions of in our reserve. I enjoyed the story a few weeks ago when they said, if the currency votes our way, or if the everyone in the community votes our way, we'll burn the reserves. I thought that was an exciting story. But I wasn't too crazy about the Ripple guy being one of the top 10 richest people in the world just for printing his own money. That never made sense to me. Also, seems unfair they don't include Satoshi Nakamoto on those lists. Just seems unfair, just saying. But Josh Gagala, your thoughts on Ripple and its 63% drop?
The thing is that what I always find funny is the SEC is there to protect investors, and they know damn well that when they go, right, this is a security, the token's going to drop. So them trying to protect the people that have bought this ridiculous coin is actually hurting every single person that's bought this ridiculous coin. So I always find it funny, but it's another topic really. But the thing is with Ripple is that it's been on the cards for a very, very long time. They're a big player in the game. And they're going to come after some other centralized ICO companies soon. There's some big ICOs that happened. And this is why we're seeing more and more people heading towards the DAO structure, where it's more decentralized than a central company that's somewhere, registered somewhere that the SEC can go after. Because America has very, very long tentacles. And they grab the nuts of everybody that starts a business and sells to Americans. Now, what people can try to do is set up a security, register a security, and actually try to do it through their ridiculous methods. But the thing is, when you do that, you have to take full KYC, you have to check that they're an accredited investor and all this other jiggery pokery, and everyone drops away. No one goes through with it. So your ICO becomes just dirt. You're much better, and it costs about the same as an IPO nowadays to run an ICO with all the marketing and every rest of it. So you're much better just doing a full IPO. But IPO investors, to list an IPO, you already have to jump through a bunch of hoops, already be showing some sort of you can't be a pink slip, dodgy company that hasn't got a product yet. So I think there is still a place for token offerings. Me personally, I know that's a very unpopular opinion on this network and this channel, but I actually like the concept of being able to sell to the people out there that believe in your idea. Of course, there's going to be scammers, and you're going to have to prove that you're not one of those. So the difference is that you actually want to build something, or maybe the way of raising money becomes. I feel it's already like that. Where the world has woken up, they've become educated in the fact that they will not fund an ICO that hasn't got a product. They won't, like back in 2017, that you could throw any old crappy white paper out there and someone will throw money at you. But nowadays, we see people try and people won't do it. So there's certain things that will happen, and this is typical of a new technology, a new thing that's happening. There's instantly scammers that come our way and try to pull the wool over people's eyes. But now the whole community's been educated. Like, I don't want an ICO to instantly have all the money, because what happens? The founders become rich and they don't have the drive, they don't have the hunger anymore. So you want a smart contract that can slowly release the money out over time, or maybe the people vote that join the DAO, they vote for releasing more funds for the company to feed off of. There's all these amazing things that can happen. And I really hope that the community heads towards that, because, well, I don't think they've got a choice, because people like groups like the SEC will go after large ICOs that have made billions. EOS, for instance, made billions of dollars, $4 billion ICO. This is more than Intel makes over years and years and years. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of money. So the SEC is definitely going to go after some of these huge ICOs. So I think these DAOs are probably the way the future will go.
It does seem almost like it's a wave, like the wave rolled out and now it's rolling back. I'm also reminded of Conan O'Brien's great line from the episode of The Simpsons, The Monorail, where he said, "A town with money is like a mule with a spinning wheel. He don't know how he got it, and he don't know what it's for." Moving on to the exit question. Will Ripple survive the SEC lawsuit? Will Ripple still be here 1 year from now? Martine.
I think Ripple might get, hurt in the process, but XRP, the token, will probably, just continue to exist. I do think that because of the SEC filing now, that the problems they have, that there will be exchanges that might delist the XRP trading. So therefore, the value of the token might probably drop even more. because there will be fewer and fewer places to actually trade the token. So I think that will most likely hurt the price. But that's not the question. The question was, will it still exist? Yes, I think it will still exist. Most of these old tokens that failed, they still exist. They're still around, and sometimes people are even trading in them. So yes.
Dark times ahead, but Ripple ripples on. Josh Gagala.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally not investment advice at all, but it's probably a good buy because they'll get a fine, they'll pay it, and the hordes of XRP lovers will just jump. It'll just probably go back up.
And I just like to talk at this point about Ripple, the Grateful Dead song that sadly this cryptocurrency was named after. It's a really great, wonderful Grateful Dead song off the album American Beauty. You should check out Ripple. I don't have the quotes right with me, but it's something about there is a fountain that was not made by men. And they're talking about the fountain of youth and stuff. It's a really cool.
By the way, I also had that airdrop from Ripple back in the day, and also lost my Ripple to them. I emailed them a few times saying, "Hey, where's?" Because they pivoted so many times, they didn't know where the hell they were doing, what they were doing. Jed built this technology that was, trying to solve what Bitcoin solved in a different way. But it was always just paid out. Like the very, very early conferences, they were even there, and everyone was like, "Ripple's a scam." It's been the scam for centuries. I mean, I wouldn't call it a scam. I think they're just trying to be the technology for banks. It's just not my sort of thing. Like, I frankly don't care what banks use in the back end. I just want banks to go away.
Josh, this whole Ripple is the Bitcoin for banks thing, I don't subscribe to, because that's the reason people buy this XRP token.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is that the XRP token is just that token, and if they would create a Ripple for banks, that would not be the XRP token. It would be XRC token or whatever. They would just copy paste the whole thing, and then Ripple Labs would be the one getting the money. But none of the XRP holders would benefit from this. And this is what I think is misleading, because many people who bought Ripple, they think that it is the XRP token, or many people who bought XRP think that it will be the XRP token that will be used by banks as their technology thingy, this big white horse coming in and saving the banking industry, which it is not. And by the way, I also got my, 5 XRP or something at the time.
It's got to be more than that. It's got to be more than 5.
Or 50 or something. But I immediately dumped them for extra expensive Bitcoin at the time. And from the looks of it, if I hear your stories, I was lucky because I lost those sats later, of course, in some crazy hack on an exchange. But I exchanged it immediately for Bitcoin. So did that with all the airdrops, by the way.
Well, and Martin, it's no fun if you tell everyone the story behind the scam. It's easier if you just say Ripple is the Bitcoin for banks, and then the marketing works, and then they get more buyers and less sellers, and the whole thing works. I think it is especially funny to see the Bitcoin for banks being sued for being an illegal security, to see this once top 10 rich list guy to be in real trouble here, because this could wipe out the coin. But yeah, sadly, I agree with Josh. This is like Dogecoin. It's just going to keep going on. There's already lots of people who like it and want to support it, and they're going to keep it going somehow, unless, I don't know, the government.
There's actually, before Ripple launched, there was a website called ripple.com, and that was the one that they bought. And it was a really good idea because it was basically you get a circle of friends, and if I trust you, Thomas, and you know someone else in the community, I could lend money to that person because I've given you $100 credit. So I could lend money to your friend because your friend trusts you, and you trust him, and I trust you. And it was kind of this wacky thing as well, which was the original concept of Ripple.com. And then, of course, the XRP, Jed McCaleb bought that and turned it into.
That sounds similar to the idea of community lending, that they have in like Africa and other countries, where the entire tribe will come together and maybe make a loan for one person in the tribe. And these systems, I studied this a lot when I was trying to do Bitcoin loans at BTC Jam. And they work really well in the community, where individual members of the community can punish or get at the people if they don't pay the loans. The larger and larger it gets, the more unpaid loans. And then the other problem is just on this beautiful internet that we all love, anything that you put up will be horribly savaged and attacked. So just as Josh is describing how his $100 would give me social credit and so forth, I start imagining a botnet of 1 million Josh bots giving 1 million Tom bots social credit. And suddenly I have all this social credit and I'm borrowing millions of dollars. So it's very difficult to make these things come to life on the internet. Transmitting them from the ideas are all good too. I mean, they want their community to have lending and such, but it's much more difficult than perhaps it seems at first. And it turns out what works with the loans, what we didn't do at Jam, is if you have an exchange and you don't let them take the money out of the casino. You make them stay in the casino with the money, and then you're not really giving someone a loan, you're just giving them gambling credits, and it's kind of a different idea. But
what you're talking about is tontines, I think.
That's it. Yeah, family loans and stuff. So just again, before we go on, I want to thank everybody for giving us a thumbs up. We have about 75 people watching us live. We have 46 people that reach down there and push that thumbs up button. Remember, if you're not watching live, if you're watching later on, you can still push thumbs up. I still see it. We managed, it took about a week, but we fought our way to 150 likes last time. So it's pretty cool if we could do that again. We actually got less views, more likes. I don't know, YouTube's not supposed to work that way, but let's just keep liking the video anyway. And then maybe someday the YouTube algorithm will shine down upon us and we'll have more viewers, more people for you to talk with in the chat, all that kind of stuff. So it's a very special Christmas episode of the Bitcoin Group. Obviously, everyone noticed we're doing this on Christmas because everyone's kind of stuck at home. It's a Zoom Christmas. We thought it's just as well we hang out with you guys, our internet family. And one of our friends here, Joseph Pruitt on Twitter, I don't know him well. He's just kind of in my Twitter feeds and he makes comments and stuff. And Joe's having a hard time this Christmas. He says, if anyone wants to send him anything this year, it would certainly help. He's struggling to get by. He put up a little Facebook post. Let's see where, sorry, I'm on the wrong browser. Let's see. There it goes. So he has a Facebook post. He's in trouble. He's about to lose his house. His mother died about 6 months ago, and he's been having trouble getting it back together. He also has paperwork that he's working on for a veteran's disability. So Joseph fought in one of the wars here. And I just think we should support Joseph. So I've got this link on my Twitter. If you guys want to check it out, we've raised $101 towards $465. So if you guys could support that, and we'll go ahead and put this into the, it's also on Twitter as well. We've raised $133 in Bitcoin. So if you guys could just go to Mad Bitcoin's Twitter, we have all the links on this, and that would really help us out, help Joseph out.
Chuck the link in the chat.
Yeah, let's see. I'll get the, let's see. Well, doing this live, Josh. Live, it uncovers all the warts and such. So everyone can see my screen. But there you go.
Maybe
guys the Tallycoin link and the Facebook link. He only needs $465 to kind of pay next month's rent to kind of keep him going, try to save this house that his mother gave him. Again, we don't know this guy. Like, we think this is legit. The reason I think it's legit is because he only wants $465. I think that's fair. If it was like $7,000, I'd be like, well, we're gonna have a really hard time getting that. But
hey, yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll match whatever is raised by the end of the show, up to $200.
All right. So if you donate to the Bitcoin address in the Tallycoin link, Josh will match it. And remember, Tallycoin just hosts your Bitcoin address. Anyone can start a fundraiser at tallyco.in. And they don't take any fees or any cut. They don't control your Bitcoin at all. So everyone just please help Joseph out. We'll check in again with this at the end of the show. But thanks so much for your support. And I hope you guys are having a good Christmas at home. Moving on to issue 3. Massive hack exposes Bitcoin's greatest weakness. Of course, the hack has nothing to do with actual Bitcoin because actual Bitcoin's just doing just fine. The hack has to do with Ledger. Ledger had their entire database of both email list and buyers of their hardware wallet leaked to the internet. At first, they were hacked and presumably blackmailed and so forth. Everyone kind of knew they were hacked, but now you can just go to some web page, search for anyone's name. You can download the entire database of anyone that's ever bought a Ledger hardware wallet, including addresses, email addresses, and phone numbers. So now if you bought a Ledger, they can come to your house. Josh Gagala, your thoughts on Ledger's hack exposing Bitcoin's greatest weakness?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that Bitcoin's greatest weakness is the wrench attack, and but cash does the same. The problem is this is why privacy in Bitcoin is important, and these idiots that say, oh, it's just for drug dealers is nonsense. Would you like to be on this list? Yeah, ask yourself if you've heard yourself say, oh, it's for drug dealers and pornographers, privacy. Well, would you like to be on this list and everyone know exactly how many Bitcoin you've got? Probably not, right? So it's not. But I just want to say that most people that will abuse this list will be chicken shit scared of going to your house and actually doing anything physical. It's much, much easier for them to send out emails threatening that they'll come to the house, but they probably never will. So if you do get a threatening email, it's probably fake. It's probably from India or something, because these people will most likely not come to your house. The thing is that what they will do is send emails. So there's a few things you have to really look out for in emails. And that is that the first thing is just don't click any links from companies, because I can send you a link an email right now that will say support at ledger.com or .io or whatever that is. It will say that exactly. And you will think it's coming from them. So the email protocol is a broken protocol. It is really, really bad. There is so many crazy vulnerabilities in there. You can get emails all the time from friends and family, and these hackers, they will probably research victims. So the amount of research that people do will lead to a higher success rate. So they'll be building funnels, lead funnels, all the rest of this stuff. So they'll research you, they'll find your sister's name, your sister's dog's name, whatever. They'll email you and say, hey, Joe, I'm really whatever. They'll have a look on your house on Google Images. They'll see the house next door. They'll find whatever. Like, it's all out there, right? So this is why people talk about data being the new oil. It's not. I mean, it's the new CO2. Stop leaking it everywhere. Stop telling people where you live, what you are, all this stuff. Just stop it. If you have Bitcoin, stop leaking your data, because hackers will use this. One day something like this happens. It's not your fault. You just bought a bit of hardware off the internet. But what you have now is a list where your name's on there. So they can potentially really try to target you and make you click on it. Hey, John, check out this hilarious, hope your dog's okay, dog Bob. They'll know everything. And then they'll say, check out this hilarious video of Julie, and you'll think, oh, Julie, that's my sister's daughter, and you go to click on it and it'll say, I'll log into Google. And you go like, oh, it's just Google. Okay, I'll log in and then two-factor. Okay, two-factor. Instantly, they'll have a bot. Once they're in, they've got that two-factor. They'll have a bot that goes, changes your email. So your email will have a redirect. instantly. So that even if you realize, oh, gee, I just let some hacker into my Gmail, they'll instantly have a redirect. So even if you change the password, they can start going around the web doing lost password resets. They will send all those lost password resets will go to your email, but they don't have access anymore. It'll automatically get forwarded, and they've got access to everything. They just start wreaking havoc on your life. Never, ever use SMS two-factor online, ever. SMS two-factor and the SIM swap saga has destroyed friends of mine. That they've taken Lynn Ulbricht, for instance, the mother of Ross Ulbricht, lost a bunch of money that people kindly donated to help her son, to help her in her plight to release her son with a SIM swap. Luckily, it didn't get taken because she managed to secure it, but they got into a Coinbase account and all sorts of stuff. So SIM swapping is ridiculous. It's where a hacker will keep on calling your telephone provider and go, oh, my kid's crying, I've lost my can you, and if the telephone provider goes, no, sorry, we can't, boom, they'll just ring again, because there's 1,000 support staff, and they just go through each one until they find the social hack that gets them to send the replacement SIM, and then they've got you. So never use SMSs. Phone calls were probably the thing that you'll get. Just realize that that's really scary, and most people want to be nice over the phone because they don't want to be nice. You're talking to someone, so just be really careful with giving any information out about anything. If you're getting an email from your brother or something, ring him up. That's the old school two-factor. Ring him up and say, hey, are you emailing me about bank information? That's really, really important. So going back to these things, and this is all stuff that's really the world needs to be educated on again, because we've trusted the internet to a certain extent, because when you have a leak or a hack and your email gets hacked, it's whatever, or you just change a few passwords. But now that things like Ledger, you've got rare digital assets on the line that are sitting in private keys, and it's a new brave world, and you have to be very, very aware of all these attack vectors on you.
I just think it's sad. It's sad that Josh has to describe all the security you have to do. And it's sad that these people who were trying to do the right thing, they were trying to protect their Bitcoin. They were doing the thing that we always say, and everyone says, if you don't own your own keys, you don't own your own coins. And I've got no side in the Trezor Ledger war. I met the Ledger guys in Miami. They gave me one to try out. I met the Trezor guys. They gave me one to try out. I'm cool with whatever. I just think everyone should protect their keys. And it's sad to see that this kind of misconfiguration, or this WordPress, or this marketing guy, whoever it was, they had this big database of everybody's names. They made the wrong choice. They decided to keep this database, which is a natural thing when you're selling widgets. You want to say, hey, maybe we could sell them another widget. We could send them a flyer. There's all kinds of value to this data. They kept it. It got exposed. And it turned out that they weren't selling widgets, but they were selling more like what President Obama called them, a Swiss bank account in your pocket. And even if you only have $100 or $1,000, the fact that you chose to store your $1,000 in a Swiss bank account in your pocket probably excited some criminals. So I don't know how bad this list is going to get. I hope that it's just people sending nasty emails like Josh said. But if Bitcoin keeps going up, this list could keep going up. So if you probably can't move, it's difficult to move. Certainly change your email, change your phone number. And in the future, and this is where it gets sad again, we're going to have to teach people a whole nother level of OPSEC if you want to order a Bitcoin hardware wallet to your house. It's going to be kind of like the movie Hackers, where he said, you hacked a bank across state lines from your house? You can't do that. And sadly, we're all going to have to get PO boxes. We're all going to have to go to mailboxes, etc. I've heard that people in Europe have a problem where the PO box companies don't accept packages like in the United States. So that's going to be an issue. Amazon Locker, I don't know. We always tell people to order directly from Trezor and Ledger, because there's a problem where if you get a tainted hardware wallet, they could steal your keys somehow, right? Now there's an even bigger problem. They could steal the address. They could steal your home, your privacy, your freedom. So another level to this thing. It's kind of good. Bitcoin could go up forever, and it could make us, popular and rich and all these things, but it could make us too popular. It could make us too rich. And then your name could end up on one of these lists. Martin, your thoughts about Ledger and the hack?
I feel really sorry for the people who fall victim for this hack. And we tried, maybe there's a way we can help them or educate them, because I think there are still people on that list that don't know what's happened. I partly blame the company Ledger for it. At first, they were really downplaying the hack and saying, no, our wallet is safe. But it's the social engineering that arises from this hack that is really dangerous. And I've heard stories of people that actually lost money because of this. They are the inexperienced Bitcoiner. They think they're doing the right thing. They bought a hardware wallet, and now they get this email telling them to reset their password because of whatever, and then enter those seed words. So I think it's partly Ledger to blame here, that yes, they got hacked. They shouldn't have been hacked, because if you keep all your customer data online in this online database, there's no reason for that. Their claim was, yes, we have to keep it because of legal requirements in France. This is how we do things in France. But in reality, it's bullshit, because they could have kept it offline, or they could have kept it behind the two-factor authentication. I think they used WordPress or something, and everybody knows WordPress is not secure. Everybody uses WooCommerce. It's open source. You can dig around, find bugs, and exploit them. And this just highlights the problem with this whole AML KYC craziness that's going on right now. All the regulators, they want to everybody to AML or KYC their clients. So everyone needs to start, collecting information about their cryptocurrency clients, because hackers and because drug dealers and bad people all over the internet. But in reality, it's just the computer geeks with their cats sitting in the attic developing new protocols. And the risk we are taking is that we are collecting, companies have to collect by law now in the Netherlands, for example, every little bit of information about their clients, while it's, even for small amounts. And at one point, these exchanges will get hacked. I mean, I only know from all the Bitcoin exchanges, I only know a handful of exchanges that have not been hacked yet. All the other ones, they got hacked at one point. And this shouldn't be such a big deal, as long as you don't keep any coins on an exchange, and as long as they don't have a lot of data on you. But in reality, we see that more and more governments are starting to regulate cryptocurrency, because FATF travel rules and AML D5 regulations, all made up by politicians, and central banks, which consist of ex-bankers. And basically, it's not good what we're doing. It will be a big problem for the industry. This total information hunger of regulators, and it will cause data leaks, and it will cause problems for the end users. And this, I think, we should fight against this. We should fight against this massive data collection that is going on right now. With Bitcoin, we take back our money and become our own bank. And we should also do that with information. It's our information. We should be in control. And, in Ledger's part, I think Ledger could and should have done better by informing their clients immediately after this information was hacked. They said only a small subset of our clients is affected. Well, now it turns out to be like, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of email addresses and tens of thousands of clients or more even. I've seen this list. It's scary, this information that's out there. And many of those people still don't know that their information is out there on the street and being actively abused. Myself, I get phone calls from people pretending to be working for a cryptocurrency company called Bitcoin. And I said, well, which Bitcoin company are you working for? Yes, I work for 70 different companies. I said, well, why are you calling me? Am I calling you on your personal line? Yes, I'm calling you on your personal line. He said, why are you calling me? And eventually I just hang up. I stopped being polite. Within a few hours, they'll call me back with a different number. It's just bizarre. And it's already happening. And in my case, this is not from a ledger hack. It's from the BlockFi hack. Not very long ago, BlockFi suffered a similar thing. All their AML KYC data, all their wallet information, your street address, your identity, everything was leaked. And they also downplayed it. They say, no transactions were being, no Bitcoins were stolen. So they were downplaying it. Well, actually, in reality, all our data is out there. And this we should just rise up against this. But it's very difficult to convince politicians to do something we want. So maybe we should all realize this and vote for parties and politicians that will actually help us in this instead of just.
Yeah, there's also technological things we can do. I mean, we really need to choose exchanges. What we're doing now is going to be hashing any data that we have. And if someone wants a reset, I mean, we take KYC because, and we've never been hacked since 2015, thank goodness. But what we do is the first thing you do is make sure it's fully encrypted and double salted. Like it's like heavy encryption. Because I think what Ledger did is they take their ledger security very seriously. I mean, they're dealing in private keys, right? So it's very important. But what they just didn't take the clients' names very seriously. I mean, this is ridiculously bad, and it's unforgivable. It's really unforgivable as a company. I like the Ledger guys, but that's unforgivable. You need to. What we're looking at now is to hash all that data, not keep it, and compare the hash. If we need a password reset or a two-factor reset or something like that, we ask them to resend the same data in, and then compare those hashes instead of comparing the actual data. So this is simple stuff, and until we can get the politicians to say, "Hey, look, this whole KYC nonsense is so awful," because once someone's identity is out there, KYC is useless. Because anybody can KYC as anyone. I just go online and I find all the details and KYC myself as someone else. It's a stupid system that, especially you can start getting deep fakes where all I need is a couple of photos and I can get some random person who I've got all details actually talking to video some idiot that's a half-wit on the other line, doing what they do during their studies, I don't know, as a part-time job to KYC people. Look, the whole KYC thing needs to change. We need to start working with avatars. This is what the cypherpunks have been talking about for ages. You need to separate the flesh and blood Josh, the flesh and blood Thomas, the flesh and blood Martin from themselves and to an avatar that you can turn off and say, hey, this avatar was stolen. Boom, off, gone. I generate a new one. Yeah, that new one's annoying because I need to then start to get reputation for it. This character, this avatar needs to sell things online for a lot cheaper because it's got no reputation anymore. But this is how it goes. The biggest thing against all of this is always the same card. It's the trump card of the big politicians is always, child porn and terrorism and all this bad stuff. So if you're for not having KYC, then obviously you're a money launderer, child pornographer, terrorist. And this is typical of all power structures. They pull these cards out, and it's very hard to fight against. But it'll take, right now it's only affecting a small subsection of a small niche, and that's crypto ledger purchases. But eventually, if everything goes in the right direction, which it will, it's got no chance of not doing so, crypto will become massively mainstream. Eventually, this will get so big of a problem that the avatar system will be the only system that can work, because eventually everybody's data's leaked. The deep fake will be so strong that it just, having KYC like it is nowadays is just useless.
Avatars would be an interesting possibility. One of the things they talked about in Neil Stephenson's book Fall is that multiple people could use the same avatar and then develop a reputation under that avatar as a shared person. You wouldn't know if you're meeting with the author of the book or the 3 authors of the book or 5 authors. You would just know you're meeting with the avatar that produced the work that you're purchasing, the work that you're interested in.
Bit like Satoshi.
Like Satoshi.
Very good, Josh.
Going back to what Martine was saying, I do think that we're kind of entering into a period of mass hysteria. It seems a lot like what they did with logs in computer science. You had this server and it was logging everything that went on the server. And at first that was great. And everyone was keeping 10, 20 years of logs. You had everything that ever happened. And then that became a legal nightmare and exposed people's privacy. And we said, maybe we should keep less logs. Then the government came in and said, you should keep all the logs, until we had to learn from this. So it seems like the same thing with this data. They're going to keep requiring it, more and more of it to be kept until, like Josh said, so much of it will leak that it'll be easier to go get fake details from an XKYC database to qualify to a new one than to bother putting in your own information. Moving on to the exit question, Martine, will the government do this? Will they have no choice but to require this KYC data, creating the perfect honeypot of hackers' dreams?
I think it was last week where we talked about the SolarWinds hack. It's kind of ironic that like governments require us to keep this information safe while they are unable to keep their own information safe. So yes, I'm afraid they will require all this data to be kept, but at the same time, they are unable to even organize their own IT system. So I fear the future in that respect.
Josh Skagala.
Yeah, same.
Too easy. Yes, of course, they will require the KYC data. They're already very excited about it. They want to match it up with the tax rolls and be able to say, you took this out here, you need to pay for it there. The best way to do that is to make sure you have all the data. We have an update on our fundraiser from Joseph. Someone, maybe one of you guys, maybe somebody else, has donated on Facebook. We're up to $201 towards our goal of $465. Maybe we could even raise 200 on Facebook, 200 on the Bitcoin. That would work out pretty good. So if you guys haven't heard, we're trying to raise money for our friend Joseph here from Twitter. We don't know him, but he's in trouble. He might lose his house. His mother's passed away, and it's Christmas. So it's only $465. It's not like it's $7,000 or something crazy. So let's try to help Joseph out here. We're up to $133 raised on the Bitcoin side, $200 raised on the Facebook side. So we're around $333 towards our goal of 465.
And I'll match up to $200. So let's do it. Let's do it, folks.
So let's do it. Josh will match. Maybe we can even have a little savings, get him going for the next month, especially the way Bitcoin's been going. Let's move on to issue 4, Bitcoin bubble. Muriel Roubini's back, and he says that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which he's dubbed shitcoins, have no place in retail or institutional investor portfolios. Roubini, a professor of economics at NYU's Stern School of Business, slammed Bitcoin even as it hit recent highs and was trading above $23,300. He says, first of all, calling it a currency, it's not a currency. It's a unit of account. It's not a means of payment. It's not a stable store of value. Secondly, it's not even an asset. According to Roubini, Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. He pointed out that assets, bonds, stocks, real estate, or precious metals either provide income, capital gains, or some form of utility. Roubini says Bitcoin's hyperbolic bubble is going to go burst. Martine, your thoughts on Muriel Roubini?
Yeah, I've got 2 words for it. It's like, okay, boomer. But no, this is like this is like an angry troll, and every once in a while they ask him for his opinion on Bitcoin. Well, he's not an authority on Bitcoin. He might know something about like old world money, but he's like he doesn't understand Bitcoin. He's just ranting against Bitcoin, and now he's heard the word shitcoin. He thinks it applies to Bitcoin too. So now. Okay, boomer, whatever. He's like the dinosaur of money. I think we shouldn't give him the attention. You know, it's like weird. It's no, no opinion. Never heard of the man. Just some like troll. He is obviously very famous in economy or economics, but no, he's got nothing to do with Bitcoin. And for him, if he doesn't buy Bitcoin, that's great because there will be more for us.
Yes, it's been a very interesting story. Interesting to see him go up and down. Josh Kagala, your thoughts?
The thing is, like, calling him a retarded monkey is kind of offensive to retarded monkeys. So I don't want to do that. But these people, I mean, I've been battling these types of people forever. Years and years and years now, and it just astounds me that someone with obviously very learned opinions doesn't understand the absolute basics of scarcity. Especially in economics. Like how can you be so dumb yet get through everything? I know how. Because the current schooling system basically teaches you to repeat extremely well. See, if you can repeat what your professor says, then you'll get a really good honors certificate, a doctorate, and because, look how well he repeated or she repeated, fantastic. They really don't teach you how to think, how to actually reason anymore. It's basically like, when they trump these people out, I've said Trump twice today. I don't know. They pull these people out. They really all they're doing is pulling out people that know how to repeat well. When they say, "Oh, look, he's a professor in so and so." Look, look, there are some really fantastic professors, but generally the schooling system really just teaches repeating. So if you cannot logically put things together, like for instance, Peter Schiff. Peter Shifty, I like to call him. The guy is a very smart guy. I've appreciated Peter's work for a very long time, and his father's work too. Rest in peace. But the thing is that he's using this whole thing as a marketing thing. Like that's his market. He's a very good marketer, and he knows that this is the best marketing he's had for years. So every time he mentions something negative about Bitcoin, it gets huge amounts of likes and hate and chat and chitter and whatever else. So in fact, now he's getting his son to play it's a wrestling game. He's getting his son to say, "Ooh, my son bought Bitcoin against my wishes," and everyone's like, Peter, and they all play with it. It's ridiculous. And I think this idiot is probably doing the same thing. Is using this as a marketing stunt. Now all the Bitcoiners like us are talking about him and his name's getting bigger. So I'm just so over it. Like if you can't figure out the difference between supply, demand, and scarcity, even though you've got a doctorate in economic theory, then just go off into the forest, mate. Just stop it. Get off of social media.
I think he's more of like an attention whore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, am glad he's still here. I was worried that we wouldn't have these kind of critics when the price of Bitcoin was pushing $25,000, when it had broken through 15 and 17 for the second time. I figured that everyone would just give up and flip over to the other side and start supporting Bitcoin. I'm glad these critics are still here. I still hope they keep playing the classics. I'd like to hear a little bit more of Bitcoin's going to zero. That's a nice one. I like all your coins are tulips. That's an oldie I haven't heard enough of. There's an infinite amount of cash in the Federal Reserve. That's always good for a laugh. So
Bitcoin is for criminals.
Yeah, Bitcoin's only for criminals. The internet's only for pornography. Everyone knows this is true. They all know inherently, even as Bitcoin's going up and all these people are making money, this guy wishes he had his son's portfolio. So more of these critics keeps the media happy, keeps the headlines going. And remember, for everyone that you know that supports Bitcoin, there's someone else on the other side that doesn't support it. And these articles make them feel good, even as they're wondering why they didn't even put $100 or $10 into this thing that used to be hundreds and now costs thousands. So pretty wild times. It's been fun. We'll have to see who the next Bitcoin hater is. We also have an update on Bitcoin hater Mark Cuban. Famously owns the Dallas Mavericks basketball team, made a lot of money selling broadcast.com to Yahoo. Broadcast.com, what an incredible property that was. A lot of pirated college basketball games sold to Yahoo for billions. Cuban cashes out at the top. He's been making fun of Bitcoin for years, but now the Dallas Mavericks are begging you to spend Bitcoin at their gift shop and for tickets. They accept it for both. Just goes to show, even if you're Mark Cuban and you have the Shark Tank show and all this stuff and you're making fun of Bitcoin for years, eventually you give in. You got to accept Bitcoin. I don't think he likes it, but they'll take it for tickets. Just like Roubini said, it's not a purchase. You can't use it to buy anything. It's not like you could just go to the Dallas Mavericks game and buy a ticket with Bitcoin. Oh, well, wait, you can. Anyway, moving on. Check out shop.worldcryptonetwork.com, where you can get the World Crypto Network dual logo mug, the Trezors Don't Float t-shirt, and the Bitcoin Not Bombs Bitcoin Halvening edition, and World Crypto Network the shirt. Check it out at shop.worldcryptonetwork.com. And I hope that everyone is still ready to donate. Maybe you're out there, you're going to wait till someone else donates. Well, now's the time. If you guys donate, we could break through. We could have an appearance of Santa Satoshi. He could come on the show. There's still a chance. Let's see. Josh has got the fundraiser up there.
I had it up.
Fundraiser. Let's see. We're up to $133 in Bitcoin and around $200 on the Facebook. So we're still at $333 towards our goal of $465. So if you guys donate now to the Bitcoin QR code on your screen, you could help our friend Joseph from the internet be able to afford his house. His mother died 6 months ago, and he's been trying to pull things back together. So let's have a Christmas miracle for Joseph. We can do this. I'll read the poll.
It's very easy to call. It's very easy to call everything a scam, that you see, because then it's like, this is a scam. Some scammer wants money, but some people really are having a hard time at the moment, and we're seeing all-time highs. It's important. I'm not a religious guy, but I think that the concept of tithing is really important. As a voluntarist, I'm one of those crazy anarcho-capitalists that believe in actual donations and in helping each other. And so let's show what we can do as a community.
All right, let's do it. And says starting. There we go. We're back again. Sorry, the Jitsi 1 hour limit. Just wanted to celebrate some people in Bitcoin that maybe we don't hear from anymore. We don't talk to. We haven't heard from in a while. This is my friend Jason King. He set up a program called Sean's Outpost, where he raised Bitcoin for homeless people to give them a place to live. So it was very cool. I got to see Jason in Germany there. We're at Essen, Germany at the Blockchain Hotel convention in 2017. So it was really neat to see Jason there. And I just found the old picture, and I thought it'd be fun to share some old pictures. I also found this one of Drew Phillips and Davi Barker of Bitcoin Not Bombs. And these are the guys that made the orange shirts that you used to see at all the early conventions, and you still see at some of the new ones. So this was them at DogeCon in San Francisco in 2014. So I just thought it would be fun to share some old pictures. I'll probably be putting some of the World Crypto Network people into here soon and just trying to keep this up. And just remembering our friends here on Christmas. We haven't quite reached our goal yet, so we can't have the Christmas poem yet, but we do have a chance right now for a very special interview. We got to get your questions ready. We could take questions from the chat if there's time, but we have a very special gift I was given today. This is the Donald Trump Magic 8 Ball. Let's make you great again. And we can answer any question that you might want to ask Donald Trump. We're still waiting. If you guys want to give us a thumbs up down below, we have 72 likes. We're halfway towards our goal of 150. So we're doing good. Give us a like. It's free. And now, Josh, are you ready with a question for the presidential Magic 8 Ball? Josh is muted. Martine's muted.
Oh, there we go. Will you get another chance at the White House?
Will the president run again in 2024? Says everything is luck.
It's profound.
Martine, a question for the president.
Did you really have sex with a porn star without using a condom?
Did you really have sex with a porn star? It's guaranteed. So there
you heard
go.
It here first. The World Crypto Network.
Incredible new tool here, the Trumpy Magic 8 Ball. Let's see. Let's ask him some more world questions. Did you think it was a good idea for the British to exit the EU? You're beautiful. That kind of works for everything.
Yeah. Right.
Let's see. They got a chat in the chat. It says, "Will the price of Bitcoin hit $30,000 before 2021?" Here we go. Let's see. It'll be a disaster. So that could go either way. It could be a disaster for the normal people, could be good for the Bitcoiners. So I think he's saying yes. I think that's a yes. Let's say they say, don't support scammers, don't invest in, let's see, should you support scammers? Okay. So he says, I'm awesome, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty telling. That was pretty telling. That was kind of like a Freudian slip there, Ball. You got to be watching out for that. Martine, do you have one more question before we go?
Will you regulate non-custodial wallets before you leave the office?
All right. Will you regulate non-custodial wallets? How stupid are you? So again, that could be a yes. That could be like, of course I'm going to do it. Or he just could be commenting on your education. It's tough to tell. He's a mean ball. He's not a nice ball. But there it is. I just thought that'd be fun. Magic Bitcoin Trumpy ball. Also, this is old. This was from I think 4 years ago. But there's Trump the troll. I don't know. That's fun. So my brother got me this stuff for Christmas. So there we go. Stalling time's over. We're going to check the fundraiser one more time, see if we've hit our goal and if we've earned a poem and a visit from Santa Satoshi. Let's see right here. We're checking on Facebook, doing the old refresh. It's a lot of drama here, a lot of pressure. Let's see if anyone donated. Facebook says refreshing. Oh, still 201. So there's still a chance to donate on Facebook.
So I'm going to chuck $200 in there, help the guy out. Let's go.
Oh, refreshing the Tallycoin is still at 133. So if you're watching on the playback later, there's still a chance to donate. We would like to hit our goal of $465. It's not that much, and that will help Joseph be able to pay his rent and survive this month. You can read his story here. He's just having a hard time. He was a veteran, and his mother passed away about 6 months ago. So he's having a hard time with the house. So check out the links are on my Twitter at Mad Bitcoin's Twitter. We also cut and paste them into the chat. And we had these fun stuff at the end, but I think you guys earned it anyway. It's been a long year. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys the poem anyway. Look, here it is. Ah, it's Santa. I put my Santa hat on. My mad Bitcoin stuff's at home, so this isn't quite as fun. But there it is. I got my hacker Santa hat, and we're going to go ahead and read you guys the poem. Let's see. We'll do this split screen here. So here we go. Let's see. This is called A Visit from Saint Satoshi by Clement Clark Bitcoin. But nobody really calls it that. Most people refer to it by its first line. 'Twas the night before Bitcoin Christmas, when all through the house, not a Bitcoin was stirring, not even a computer mouse. The wallets were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Satoshi Nakamoto would soon be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of altcoins danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the net there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the laptop I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and brought up the dash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny bit deer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, like a damned Tamagotchi. I knew in a moment he must be Satoshi. More rapid than Litecoins, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Bitcoin, now Litecoin, now Feather and Peercoin, on Terra, on Namecoin, on Primecoin and Franco. To the top of the charts, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As leaves before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with a cell wall, they mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of Bitcoins, and Satoshi too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney Satoshi came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with hashes and loot. A bundle of Bitcoins he'd flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. A droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a bee. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him, in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the wallets. Then he turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, as he drove out of sight, "Happy Bitcoin Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Yeah.
There we go.
Prolific.
Happy Bitcoin Christmas to everyone.
Yeah.
Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll let that one go.